Hello, this is a quick video for Weston. He's having a problem with his multi-wheel board. It's not initiating his ESCs. When he's turning it on, they're still beeping, saying no minimum throttle set. So here's I'm going to do a quick guide here, just to show you what to do really. So we start off, we've obviously got the Wii board. This is powered by the FTDI board there, the USB. My receiver and my Turnigy 9X. Now he's on FreeSky, I'm on chain link, but that doesn't matter because all this unit's doing is putting out PPM signal. The receiver's getting a PPM signal which goes to the board. So it doesn't matter what frequency or whatever you're using, it's still just a PPM out to the board. That's all that matters. So because the FTDI is powering the multi-Wii board and we don't have the LiPo connecting the ESCs and the motors up, the ESCs are not active at this point. So we go to the multi-Wii sketch. In my case I'm using 2.1, and what we were talking about, I'll zoom in a bit, yesterday was for Turnigy. We were saying 1300 for Turnigy for the minimum throttle value. This is not the minimum throttle value though. This is not the minimum that your ESC wants. This 1300 here is the minimum value to keep the motors idling when the board is armed. So the motors will be spinning at idle with a value of 1300. To calibrate the ESCs though, we're going to change this to 1000. We want the max throttle at 2000, and the minimum command I'll come back to in a bit. But for now, 1000 for minimum throttle, 2000 for max. The reason is we're going to calibrate the ESCs first and then re-upload a sketch afterwards. So, I've got to upload, pardon me. It will start compiling the sketch. After it's finished compiling, there we go, the board starts to program. You've got your read and your write LEDs there. Once it's finished, you should get a couple of quick flashes of the blue light and then like a longer flash. It's nearly solid but it's not quite. That'll happen in just a sec, and then that's the board programmed and then reset, reinitiating. Long flash, there we go. Right, so that's the board done. To prove this is working, take my throttle and arm it so it's like full right to arm it, full left to disarm. So, board disarmed, full right, arm, full left, disarm. Great, so that's that working. So now what I'll do is I'll show you in the GUI. Here's the GUI. I'm using COM port 3, you could be on different COM ports. We start it. Try and show you the graph there. There's the graph working. Right, when we've started you should get all your PID values up, your accelerometers should be moving. Now there's no point in calibrating your your accelerometers or your mag, because you're going to reflash the sketch in a sec. All we are interested in at this point is that bit there. Now, on a Turnigy, the potentiometers in the throttle, and in fact on any stick, are not great. What happens is, as you move the stick up and down, you'll get different values at the top and the bottom sometimes. Now mine at 966 there and 2002, but sometimes they'll vary a little bit. So what you do is you set your endpoints so it's way below 1000, so you definitely go through the 1000 threshold, and above 2000. See, it's changed to 2001 from 2002 there, but it's above 2000, which is the important bit. So that's proving that works. Now when I initiate the board, you can see arm has now lit up, and what will happen is all of the motors will sit at 1000 as I increase the throttle, they will go up equally all the way up to 2000, like that, right, and then I turn the board off, disarmed. Right, so now you know it's working as it should be. We're going to calibrate the ESCs. We will relocate the quad so you can at least see it. Put the Turnigy over here. Now to calibrate, arm the board, like so. I'll turn it around so you can see the blue LED. Yep, the board is armed. We're going to take it up to 2000 maximum throttle. Then I'm going to plug the ESC in. The ESCs will do a double beep telling me they've gone into calibration mode. As soon as they've done the double beep, I'm then going to lower the throttle to 0, which we have set in the sketch to 1000. They will then beep again to say they're all calibrated. So they're calibrated 2000 maximum revs, 1000 no revs whatsoever. So I'll do that now. Board armed, up to max. Plug in ESCs, double beep, down to minimum, and there you go, ESCs are now calibrated. So the board is armed, the motors are not moving, but when I give throttle, they all start up. They all start up and work fine. So disarm the board. You don't have to disarm the board at this point. Right, the whole point of that was to calibrate your ESCs. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the battery off of the ESCs. We're going to close. We're going to close this. What I'll do is I'll have it ready, sat in the background. But if you don't close the GUI, when you try to upload the sketch, it'll say the COM port's busy. Right, here's the sketch. Minimum throttle. Now we're going to change this to 1300. So what will happen now is when I arm the board, the value will be 13, which is above 1000, which will put the motors into idle on a Turnigy plush. Max throttle wants to be 2000. Now we'll touch on this minimum command. The minimum command is what the board outputs when it's disarmed. So what you want is you want it to be 1000 or less. Now to play it safe, I always put it at 900 because it's 100 less, it's way less. So at 900 your ESCs will not turn your motors at all, they will be disarmed. I assume you've filled in all the rest of it, what board you're using, stuff like that, your serial, PPM, etc, 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 if you're using it. So we've changed that to 13, keep that as 2000, minimum command 900. You can put it at 1000, I'll put it at 900. Click upload, and again it will go through the process. There we go, flashing blue. Starts uploading to the board, which normally takes a while. While it's doing that, I'll just open the GUI but not use it. There we go, it's initiated. So this time round, when we arm the board, the motors should go to 1300 and put them into idle. Now to check this, we'll go back to the GUI. This is even before we've turned on the ESCs. COM port 3, start, there it all is. Right, over to here, I'll grab the TX. Right, this is the board disarmed. Board disarmed, it's sat at 900, nothing's happening with the motors. When I arm the board, There you go, all the motors have now jumped to 1300, which is the minimum value we've now set, which puts them into idle. And then as I increase, so do the motor values, but they drop down to idle. And then when I disarm, they'll go to below 1000. Boom. There you go. It's as easy as that. So to prove it, we'll do it with the ESCs now on. Move the Turnigy, have the board disarmed, plug your LiPo in, the ESCs have initiated because they're seeing less than 1000. When I arm the board, it'll go to 1300 and the motors will turn on and start spinning at idle. There you go. Disarm the board, the value drops to below 1000 because we've set it to 900, all the motors stop, that's it, dead. And that's it. That's your ESCs calibrated and your board calibrated. You don't have to have 1300 as your idle. You could have it as 1000, so when your throttle is at minimum, your props stop dead. Your motors just stop. But it can catch you out when you're flying a bit sometimes, so what people generally do is have them at idle, so yeah, you get a better range, and they never stop dead in the air, you know, if you panic or whatever. But that's how you do it. Hopefully this video is a bit better with the light.